It's great. Hi guys, here we are, Friday Spotlight. Welcome to Titanium Yoga with Ashley and Jess.
Hi.
We just finished an incredible class. How many people do we have here?
Like 24.
Yeah, we filled the space. So there's 24 spots in this space. We are so excited. So I've been coming here
Like at least 6 months.
I don't even, it's longer than that, a year?
Yeah, a long time. This
Yeah,
was
what
my
month
second
is it?
time.
It is
Second
May.
time
It is
here.
May. So it's been like a year and a half.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
started in a December,
In
but
a
it wasn't
December.
this one. So yeah, I've been coming here for a while. This is like my safe haven. I absolutely love it here. If you joined us in class today, we sweated, we laughed, maybe a few cried. It was great. The music was flowing. It was amazing. But we're here and we want to introduce you to Ashley, and so I want her to share her story. It's really powerful. She loves sharing it.
I do.
So much. You can read it on the wall here, and that's basically the only tidbit that you're going to get, except for right now on this beautiful, beautiful live. So Ashley, tell us your story. How did you come to yoga? How did you come to this style setup of yoga with all these things?
Yeah, so I had never practiced, no, that's a lie. I practiced yoga one time at my local YMCA in Arizona, and I was like, this is terrible. I'm never coming back. Fast forward to 2016, I was in a near fatal car accident, breaking literally half of my body, and I was never supposed to walk again. My insurance ran out, and I went to my surgeon and I was like, what do I do? Like, I can't just keep paying out of pocket to see all these amazing doctors. It's not fun. And he said there's a Harvard study that says that yoga is this amazing physical therapy. And so he signed me up for my first hot yoga class, which I went to in a wheelchair. When I left the hospital, I was never supposed to walk again. I was in a wheelchair, and the reason I wasn't supposed to walk was I broke my femur, was one of my breaks, one of my many. And I was supposed to live a life in a wheelchair, and I am kind of crazy. And
Wait, how did all of this happen? Like, what occurred that you broke half your body?
I was hit by a semi-truck.
Yeah, she just told us that before we started, and I was like, oh my God, was that on the paper? I don't know.
No.
That wasn't on the paper. I'd never heard this story, you guys.
Tiny car accident.
Hit by a semi-truck, and not like off the road, like
No, like
head on.
Head on. The engine came in the passenger seat. I don't remember, but like it's like, oh hey, how is that? So I was in a tiny rental car, and that was that for the rental car.
And so you broke half your body, so your bottom half.
No, so I broke my left shoulder came out, my right femur came out, and I crushed my left hand, oddly,
So
trying to like protect my
You broke
face.
this side and this side,
Yeah,
like
both
top
sides.
and then bottom. Holy crap.
So,
Okay.
and think about that. So like if you broke one side, maybe that would
Yeah,
be nice.
you
But
could.
if I crushed my left hand, so like I'm right-handed, so like you can't open a water bottle.
Right.
Like I couldn't, because I broke my shoulder, I couldn't reach, and I couldn't reach with this side because it would impact the leg. Like it was a hot mess.
Yeah. Okay. So we're learning more every second that we spend with Ashley. Okay, so you did that. You ran out of insurance, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm learning a lot. Did you know that? You ran out of insurance? Okay. All right. Well, my mind is blown. And then your doctor signed you up for a hot yoga class.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we
So
are.
This sweet man, because my accident was outside of Lakeland, Florida, and my sweet doctor, who I like love so much, I lived in Texas at the time, and he was like, "I'm going to find you a hot yoga studio." And I showed up in my Uber in my wheelchair, and
I didn't put on Do Not Disturb, but we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Okay. So
Jill is
you
calling.
showed up in your Uber in your wheelchair, and it was on the second floor.
Correct.
Okay.
There was an elevator, but then there
Okay.
were 2 stairs to get inside. So it's just like all the things stacked against me. But the people were very kind. And I went in the studio and I just said, I want to sit in your class. So it was a hot infrared room.
Yeah.
And the whole reason was I was in so much pain and I was on a lot of medication. I was on opioids. My family has an addiction problem with alcohol and opioids and other things. And so I wanted to get off them as soon as I could. So I went into this yoga class, I sat in my wheelchair, and it was hot, and I left after an hour, and my body didn't hurt. And that was the last opioid like I've ever taken.
Really?
And that like clicked in my brain, like I've always wanted a lot of people are like, I want to be a mom, I want to get married. Like, I've always wanted to start a business. And that was my light bulb moment of, I want people to experience the healing powers. And so I became a nut because I have an addictive personality. And I went back and I went back and I went back. So the only rehabilitation I was doing at this point was yoga. And so I went from a wheelchair to a walker. It took 6 weeks. It took 6 weeks from a walker to a cane, and it took 6 more weeks, a cane to nothing.
What? And they told you you were never walking again. They wanted to amputate you. Did we even say that?
Yeah, no, you didn't tell them.
You didn't even tell this part.
They wanted to amputate her leg.
Okay, so yes, circle back. Okay, they wanted to amputate your leg. The only reason they did not amputate your leg is why?
Because they could not get consent from a family member, because I was in Florida and none of my family who could give consent they could get a hold of.
Yeah, so that's the only
So
reason.
now I have a leg.
That she still has her leg.
Wow.
And then they said, you are going to be in a wheelchair for your entire life. So guys, she went 6 weeks from a wheelchair to a walker. Hear this again. 6 weeks from a wheelchair to a walker. Okay, a walker to a cane, another 6 weeks. And then a cane to nothing. And this was from going to a yoga studio that had infrared heat. Okay, and so if you don't know anything about the studio.
Infrared heat above us.
Infrared heat lines the ceiling. And then tell me, what is the purpose behind the floor?
Yeah, so it's infrared heat on the ceiling, and on the floor we use, it's an inch thick, and it's mixed martial arts flooring, because I'm sure we have all been to places that you're practicing on like tile or wood, or cement is my favorite. It's cold. And so the 1 inch thick, it's gonna help your knees and your joints. It's gonna like feel good. Like, you don't need a yoga mat here.
Yeah.
You don't. It collects sweat.
It catches your sweat.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, that's what it does for me.
And so it's in this space, we have everything that promotes healing. Like, I'm not gonna give you like a bad experience with your knees and your joints and give you this great heat. Like, it's an all-encompassing experience. And we have a mirror. Not that many places have mirrors.
I have to show you this because it kills me because I'm an alignment nut. And so when I go to studios that don't have mirrors and people are like, I don't want to look at myself. It's not to look at yourself to be like, oh, I don't look good today. It's literally so you can see where you're aligned. Or that's what I use it for.
That's exactly
I don't work here.
You need to see that like your shoulders are relaxed. Like, you can't necessarily, when they're up by your ears, you need to see that your arms are even. For someone like me that has a rod in my shoulder, like, I don't know if that arm is even. I can't feel it half the time. So I think it's this shoulder, but actually
I don't know where
I know it's this one. I'm like, which one is it? Researching.
So, and that's why when I came here, so I've been practicing yoga for 2 years prior to coming here. I hated it right off the bat because if you know me, I have lots of energy. So the only reason I studied it, yes, because I went to a HIIT yoga class, so it convinced me to stay. And I really was in a hard place in my life, and I needed the Shavasana and just the quiet time. But it took everything in my power to stay and not be like, I'm having, like, that's how I feel, or that's how I felt. It was like a month after month after month until I really just started. And then I tried the calmer classes, and this was at a different location. And I love that location. It had me fall in love with yoga. And I've been running yoga retreats for years, you guys, and I just have someone come teach yoga. And I take the pictures of people doing the yoga. I'm like, you guys look great. Everybody should do yoga. I'm like, oh, not me. I need to take the pictures. So, no, I was like, and so, when I stepped back from the other studio, I was so sad. But I didn't know where I fit anymore, and it's just a big transition in life, literally. Yeah. And then Ashley Tiffany reached out and was like, hey, would you want to come in? There was this series of events that a friend of a friend referred me to here, and I was like, actually, I've been dying to try it because of the healing properties, and then wanting to get something different out of yoga. And so when I walked in here, and the dim lighting, and the wood wall, and the heat, and it's not just hot. I've been to places, like I've done Bikram before, and it's hot. Very warm. I've done hot yoga, and it's hot. This is a different type of heat. And I was like, I don't get it, but my joints don't hurt. And I was like, the flooring, and it's more challenging in my mind because you have to engage your muscles. So you're not wobbling. But to me, I'm like, well, it strengthens my core more. Correct. Yeah, so my core, but it helps with my balance. And as we age, balance, think about all the old people.
They fall all the time.
And so for me, I'm like, I have so much, of course, everyone wants to look good, feel good, all that. But I'm like, I have a long-term plan in why I come here. Right. And I only maybe come once a week. I want to come every day, twice is like gold for me, but I would literally live here if I could without all my children. Yeah, we need childcare. I meant to talk to you about that. It's just something else. But it's just been such a healing experience for me being here, but you healed your entire, you're not going to walk again body with yoga, infrared heat.
Correct.
That's insane.
Which is what I wanted to do. So I moved from Texas to Florida. And when I did, I told my husband, I was like, I'm going to start a yoga studio. And he was like, okay. And that's how all of this started, was this, it made me feel better. So I became passionate about it. And when you're passionate about something, it makes it so much easier to tell people and for them to get something out of it. And we are not your typical yoga studio. Like, there is a reason behind all of this, and my goal every single day is to make one person feel comfortable in their own skin, or also to like give them a look into their life where like you might have an alternative to a cortisone shot. Yes, you need a hip replacement, but let's work on hip openers and hip closers, and let's get you as fit and happy in your body before you go get that surgery, and you can live a longer, healthier life if you can touch your toes, which is most people's like fears. I can't touch my toes, I can't do yoga. Okay, well, like, have you bent your knees or gotten a strap before?
I didn't know you could bend your knees. I couldn't touch my toes when I first started yoga, and I was like, I can't do this, and everything was so tight. Now, you know, and then you bend your knee, you learn, and then you bend your knees, and now I'm like, I can touch my toes, and I can bend, and I don't need to bend my knees. I still do, because it protects everything, because I don't want to overdo it.
It's a lifelong practice. Like, we have, no joke, we have people that are in their 90s, and then we have, it is really fun these days to see, we all have kids and yoga. It is a huge push right now because of how calming it is, and it helps with ADD, ADHD, it helps with stress, it helps with stress of parents. The research is insane, which that's what like gets me going, is, you know, kids see pro athletes are doing yoga, and it is so amazing. Once Tom Brady was doing it out on the field, like, thank you, Tom, men started being like, oh, it's okay to go there. It's awesome. Right, it's not just women.
Well, especially, so my boys are football, tackle football, flag football, basketball, lacrosse. And they are, I was just talking to Sabrina, and she's like, they're Taj, acupuncture. She's like, the problem is the kids go from and they don't learn those self-care skills before, and then they get injured, right? And so, but then we're like, it's okay, you can get through it, and it's like, no, we have to stretch.
It's injury prevention is what it is. Like, you can do your CrossFit, you can do Pilates, you can do all of these things, but incorporating yoga into that will help injury prevention. But at the same time, for me, yoga is my only workout. So in every single class of ours, you will have balance to strengthen the core, and you will have core. So if that's all you get in a day or a week or a month, you get everything you need. So you can get more and add on, or this can be
Which I did love that today. You kept offering the add-ons, because I kind of max out. I go when they tell me, and I forget about the add-ons. So I've been doing this for 3 years. It's, again, a daily practice. And so you were like, okay, and if you want to add on, it's those reminders. Oh yeah, the next step. And so I really like those
You can make it as easy or as hard as you want, because it's a practice.
Yeah, and I literally, I go to child's pose whenever I want to. I'm just like, bye.
I'm just gonna lay.
Yes, well, I love it. And so you have how many different levels of classes? So some people are like, oh my gosh,
I'm a beginner, or
yes.
I have to do this.
I'm
so glad we have 5. I think we have 5.
Get the paper.
We have a beginner class. We have intermediate to advanced, which is our titanium class, and that's 96 degrees. People love it because it's so hot. Our beginner class is called silver, and it is 87 degrees. She got the
This is like when people ask me about our
vendor
packages. I'm like, Katie, where are you?
What did we say? Gold is our advanced class, so think about, doing all the fun
What
things
did we
like
do today?
headstands. You did an all levels class today.
Yeah.
It is 92 degrees in here.
Okay.
And then we have a Go Bananas class, which is called Diamond, and that is a true power class. So you're moving the entire class. And then lastly, we have an oxygen class, which that is for everyone, and everyone should come at any age, at least once a week, and you are laying the entire time, you're stretching and you're breathing. And research has shown that it's called Yoga Nidra and it's called Yin Yoga. And with that, your blood pressure lowers, your heart rate goes down, and it's very relaxing. So you should definitely, no matter what workout you're doing, you should practice yin yoga, and it'll really help de-stress your life.
I love that. I love it. It's seriously, I mean, clearly, very passionate about the studio. So to kind of wrap this up, are there any specials that you want to offer to BFFs or that you have running right now that you want to share about?
Yeah, so we have 2 locations. So we're in Fruit Cove on Racetrack Road, or our other location is in Ponte Vedra Beach at A1A and Solana Road. And we do 30 days of unlimited yoga, and that's $47.90. You purchase it, and it doesn't start until your first day. Everyone always asks me. So you buy it today, you don't come until September. It just sits on your account. So you don't, you know, if you have vacation.
I didn't know that. Yeah, because it's coming into summer, and a lot of people were asking me. I was like, I don't know. I know you can do the 30-day thing.
Limited time.
Yeah.
47. Okay.
For 30 days.
For 30 days.
And so you can do multiple classes a day.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because
How much do you want?
Some people think you cannot. When I did that at the other studio when I first started, I did 2 days. I was trying to see how many I could get in the 30 days. I was like,
not competitive at all.
I'm not competitive, and I don't have an addictive personality. So I don't know. I did like 27. I was a little disappointed because I wanted to go to 60.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, I'm a psychopath. Hi.
You have kids.
Yeah, I would do like the 6 a.m. and then the noon while they were at school, or it was a psycho, or 5:45.
She's like, I'll just feed him a bagel.
You can also just have one.
I feed him a bagel.
They love bagels, you know. Jude had 6 bagels yesterday. It's fine. Okay, so special 30 days for $47. $47. 2 locations. Anything that we missed that you can think of that you want to cover?
No, I would say this is such a cheesy line. Yoga is for every body. So it doesn't matter, it really does not matter your age. It doesn't matter your flexibility level. That's why we have the heat. If you want to do yoga in a cold, air-conditioned room, you're not going to be able to touch your toes. I can't touch my toes in an air-conditioned room. And so it is for everybody. It is for every age. It is for both sexes. And it is just something that you take time for, and over time the benefits, like you can feel the benefits. I have awful low back pain, which is weird. Like nothing else hurts on my body except for my low back, but I can tell when I haven't been practicing because my low back just screams. Yeah, so like holding 35 pounds is so fun.
I have no idea why. Just my 2-year-old that I hold constantly.
So
okay, and there's something. So you talked about kids. Would this be a space? That's my question, because when you said it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Would this be a space? What ages? Like
that's a good question.
Yeah.
So there is no set age to come to Titanium Yoga.
Okay.
Here is my viewpoint.
Yep.
My viewpoint is if your child at the age of 5 or 15 or 18 can be in here and we don't know their age.
Yeah.
So they can follow the direction, there's not the giggles. But we have had, no joke, we've had 5-year-olds with their parents, and like, oh my God, and they light up the room, and everyone's so happy.
Yeah, because I know a lot of places have restrictions, and I know for me, we're very disciplined, and so I know who can come and who can't come.
Right.
And honestly, there were some days where my 8-year-old, like,
if you
came to the
question
luncheon.
it, they probably can't come.
Yes, like my 8-year-old came to the luncheon last month because he was sick and I was leaving. He was there for 2.5 hours, didn't even know. He just sat there at his little table. But I mean, it doesn't mean your kid just because.
Like my 2-year-old is not going to be in here.
No,
because he's going to be licking that mirror.
I wouldn't bring mine when they were that age, just because I know my kids. But you just have to know your kids, and even if you're disciplined, your kid doesn't listen. Kids are kids, and they're all different.
Well, and I'll say one more thing. My girlfriend, her son has anxiety, and he is 8. And they went to a class together, just mom and son. It was last Sunday, and she texted me, and she said, my son hugged me at the end, and he was fighting her to get there. And they had this deep connection during that class, and it's really helped a lot of the issues, you know, before school or at home or even at school. And she's like, I don't know what happened to my kid, but we're coming every week.
I love that.
So with that, another question: is there a free trial class?
There's not. It's just the 30 days for 37.
Yeah, and then is there a kid price, or if you do 2, I don't know.
Yeah, so we do offer a discount for kids.
Okay.
I should know this.
Tiffany
will know.
We love Tiffany. She's the general manager, right? Is that her title? And she has all the fine details, but she's sick. So Tiffany, we love you. We miss you, but we are glad you're not here and getting well. But once you know,
I think it's 20% off a drop-in price. nice.
Okay, you know what? We talked to Tiffany. We will put
blast
those.
Tiffany.
We'll put it right down. We'll literally add it to the title of this.
We also have family memberships. So like
Okay.
if you and your 4 kids and your husband, it's anyone over 2 people that live in the same house, we have a family
I didn't know
membership.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all. That's fabulous.
So then you save like $30 a month per person.
Okay. It's like a cell phone bill.
Yeah.
It's the family plan. Awesome. Okay. Well, if you guys have questions for Ashley and for Tiffany, because I know she's either watching this or will watch it later or be commenting back to y'all, drop them right down below. Do us a favor, like this video, just comment to boost it. If you want to come try it out, I do attend the Fruit Cove one. I kind of sneak in here on the slide to go by myself, but Tuesdays at noon is normally my class time, and I'll see you here. Jess, anything I forgot?
I don't think so.
Follow you guys on social media.
Yeah, at Titanium Yoga.
Yes, it's very simple.
If you the other thing is, if you do want to reach out, we are actual humans that like answer telephones. There's a text number, so if you have any questions, email us, call us, text us. We actually answer.
Yeah, they do. They do, because I thought I was texting an
put
automated
you at-
system.
yeah,
I
yes,
called
to put
and
you
she
at
answered
ease.
right away. It's like, who are you? I work here. All right, guys, thank you so much. Happy Friday.
Bye.